Hey everybody, today we're here at the Port of Baltimore. We're picking up this cat 325, taking it out to Ohio Cat in Girard, Ohio. Good morning. We just got done delivering a loader here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Our next load is at the Port of Baltimore. So I had a comment on one of my videos. I hope you guys can see everything. I had a comment on one of my videos that you'd like some POV driving and loading and chaining and everything. So in this video I'm going to try to do that. Hopefully it's good enough quality that it all works. So we are done with that load, and now we will head down to the Port of Baltimore to pick up the next one. After driving this truck for a while, I learned something. So I don't know if you guys can see there down on the digital display of the dash. It has a little green area on the tack, and supposedly that is the most efficient RPM range to run the engine. So when I first got the truck, for the first 6 months or so, I was running it right in that green range, thinking I was doing what I was supposed to do for fuel mileage. Well, last quarter for fuel tax, because if you are a trucking company, you have to pay fuel tax for all the fuel you buy, and you have to submit a quarterly report for that, for fuel taxes. And part of that is calculating your mile per gallon for the quarter. And so judging... All right, Kenworth has a weird way they calculate fuel mileage while you're driving. So the fuel gauge right there, there's a little number that pops up that tells you your miles per gallon, but it's not your miles per gallon for the trip that you're currently on. It's your miles per gallon for a window of time. I don't know what it is. It's like for the last hour or the last bit of distance that you've driven, but it doesn't really give you the actual mile per gallon that you're getting. So when I calculated my fuel mileage for the end of the quarter, I was at like 3.7 miles per gallon. I was like, oh my gosh, this can't be right. The engine I have is it's a Cummins X15 Performance, 565 horse, 1850 torque. So that 3.7, that's not very good, even for heavy loads. So I have started driving, the way I was taught to drive, keeping RPMs low, progressive shifting for fuel mileage. So I've been keeping the RPMs between 1200 and 1400. and that seems to be working much better. I'm right around, on my heavy loads, I'm around 5 miles per gallon, and on lighter stuff I'm actually seeing 6 or a little over 6. So that will make a big difference as far as money spent on fuel. So I don't know if any of you guys drive a Cummins X15 Performance, but if you can keep those RPMs a little lower, it does, at least for my engine, in my experience, it improves your fuel economy by a good bit. So that last load I just delivered, it was a big Volvo L180 wheel loader. Definitely used. They must have got a good deal on it, but it had a couple engine codes popping up on the dash, and they were like ECU failure and engine failure. Now the thing it ran rough, but it did run and everything worked. So I don't know what, maybe it's just the ECU, I don't know. But the guy that received it, let's just say English was not his first language. So he was asking me, you know, if it started and everything. Well, it was off of my trailer, so obviously it started. But then he got in it and it fired up for him, and he was looking at the dash like he was upset that it had codes on it. So I don't know. These guys buy this stuff and then they want to blame you for it not running right. And it's like, well, if you didn't look at it, that's kind of on you. An extreme case of that, you guys should check out my video of, it's called Kobelco Nightmare. I hauled an old Kobelco excavator to a salvage yard up in northern Pennsylvania, and the thing would not start. I think the starter was out of it. And I spent 9 hours there trying to get the thing off. We ended up putting it up on blocks and dragging the trailer out from under it to get my trailer out, so I could get away from there. So you guys should check that out if that sounds interesting to you. That was definitely the worst load I've done with an RGN. We're out of Harrisburg. I'm gonna sign off for a little bit. I will see you guys when we get down to Baltimore. All right, everybody, we have made it down to Baltimore. We're getting off here on exit 56. We're gonna head back to the port and get checked in through the gate, and then make our way back to Mid-Atlantic. We are picking up a Cat 325 today. So we'll load that up, and then we're headed up to Girard, Ohio, to Ohio Cat up there. usually take the right lane here, but you see all those trees? They don't trim them, so then they stick out into the lane. I'm just afraid you'll get some scratches on your truck from those. And you can see how nice they keep the roads down here. Here you can see the container port there. So all of these trucks with container chassis, they'll all be going in there. So they make a right before the bridge. We go across the bridge and on up to Dundalk Marine Terminal. So this is Dundalk Marine Terminal. This is the other major spot down here at the Port of Baltimore. So that terminal has all the container freight, or most of the container freight. There are some containers here, but this terminal is where all the equipment is, all the cars, trucks, tractors, construction equipment, all that kind of stuff. Everything that's not put in a container to ship pretty much is on this port. All right, it looks like we hit it at a good time. The gate is not busy. So I'm gonna head up through the gate here and then we'll head back to Mid-Atlantic Terminal. All right, so that was pretty painless. Last week when I was here, they were requiring you to have paperwork for where you're picking up. So like a bill of lading or a dock receipt or something to get in the gate. But apparently that didn't last because nothing required today. There must have been a lot of complaints about that. Boy, they're lined up today. I thought it would be pretty much empty by the time we got down here. It's almost 10 o'clock. So maybe they're having a problem with their system or something. Alright, so we just got down here. I'm gonna go get checked in and then we will go find our Cat 325 and get it loaded up. Alright guys, we are headed to Road G, spot number 16. right there is G row. So our excavator should be right in that row. So I think I'm gonna pull in on that side. We're looking for a 325. There's one sitting there. So it's going to be one of these. So we are looking for serial number 50569. Let's go find it. There's 50541, 50543, 50526. And it's case. Alright, there we go. 50569. We're gonna verify that here. 50569. Now I'll do a walk around just to make sure there's no damage. And I don't see any. So let's get this thing fired up and pulled out. Gonna beep at us until we put our seatbelt on. Okay. We will leave this thing run. While we get the truck and trailer broken down. Let's get all our chains and binders out. We'll probably need a block under the knuckle on the boom there. So we'll get these out. chain for the boom. And binder. Now, get this thing loaded up. Actually, get that to stop beeping. So the reason I turned it around is because I want those drive motors towards the back of the trailer, because they're a little heavier. bearings on the boards on my trailer to the tracks to get it straight and even on the trailer. So that looks pretty good. Okay. I'll kick this just a bit that way, and then we'll set this down. All right, I think we're good right there. Actually, yeah, we're good right there. All right. Double check this. Looks good to me. Isn't that special? Why do they do this? Why do they do that? Who knows? It's alright, we'll just go to this one. Good looking truck. I think my next truck, that's kind of what I want. That 880 there. Well, he's scraping just going across level ground. And that thing's got a long neck on it. Perfect. That's the cherry on top. Now, let's get some weights and measure the width. And we can pull permits. And we're good to roll. Yep, 10.6. pretty standard for excavators. '53. All right, guys, we got this Cat 325 all loaded up, so we're ready to roll out. Hopefully that perspective was a little bit different. I don't know how it'll turn out. I don't have a mic yet, so I don't know if you guys will be able to hear me or not on that. If not, I can do it again, you know, kind of POV. So yeah, this thing's all loaded up. We're gonna permit at 107,000 pounds. Puts 14 on the steer, 50 on the tandem. Not 50, 40 on the tandem. 50 would be a little much. And we put 53 on the tridem on the trailer. So that puts us at an overall gross of 107,000 pounds, which is probably a couple thousand pounds too much, but you know, you want to better safe than sorry on this stuff. Plus Cat is paying for the permits on this load, so that's a bonus. So that'll get us yeah, everywhere we need to go: Maryland, Pennsylvania, Ohio. So yeah, we're just about ready to roll out. I still got to do my paperwork, but other than that, we're good to go. All right, so now we are putting in our route. So I know how we get out of Baltimore. And then 83, we'll have to go west on 581 around Harrisburg, and then 22 to 322, and then it always does that. So you got to drop a pin on 99. Optimize. So this program is called Smart Truck Route 2. So basically how I do an oversized route, I usually have it in a car route setting. I don't know if I do right now or not. Minimize tolls, because you can't take the turnpike. So I put in my endpoint and it'll give you a route, and then I know through experience that this stuff will all be on the permit that they give us, and then you can just drop pins where you need the route to go. So I also know that they're doing construction there at 99, and you actually have to go east a little bit to the next exit and turn around and come back. So, and of course my my GPS doesn't want to take me that way. I wonder if that's because, yeah, see, I have it on truck. I'm gonna put it on car. So if any of you guys do heavy haul, see, that still didn't, it doesn't always fix it. A lot of times there will be restrictions for trucks on some of these exits and stuff, and that's fine for a legal truck, but when they give you that on a permit, that's the route you have to take. So I don't know what to do there. And then it's just 80 all the way out, just into Ohio and to the Cat dealer. So that's good. You can see we have 393 miles. It's actually a little shorter than that because we don't have to go as far east on 80 as they gave us, as the GPS says. So all that, I think I am ready to go. Getting a 320. That's bigger than mine. Oh, actually it's not. This is a 325. I was thinking of that John Deere we hauled last week. It's a 300. big setup there. Look, there's an old Mack cab over. That's cool. Must be going to export. Boy, the city of Baltimore should really do some tree trimming down here. It's getting pretty bad. Loaded. I actually just left. Sorry, I forgot to update macro point. Yep, no problem. You too. Alright guys, we are coming up on a fuel stop up here. I don't know if you can see that bridge off there in the distance. We are on 322 north of Harrisburg, and we're gonna stop here. I guess this is Duncannon at the Pilot and fill up with fuel. So far so good, no problems with traffic or anything. I figure I'll get fueled up, and when we're on the road again, then I'll call home base, talk to Jen, and see how far I'm going to get today, and we'll look into getting a hotel booked for tonight. I was looking a little last night, and if I can get up pretty close to Girard, there is a Super 8 that's not far away. So I think we'll try to get there. Now, if you guys use the Pilot app, I use this thing whenever I can. The only place it doesn't seem to work is at the Flying J at my house. Now all we gotta do is put that code into the pump. We'll empty the trash while we're here, clean the windows. All right. Alright guys, all fueled up, ready to roll out again. That's a pretty truck there. Peterbilt. Very nice paint on that thing. See, I like the way that looks, but I would not want to spend the time on upkeep. Keeping it looking pretty like that. So the problem with this truck stop is it's right along 322 here. It's kind of hard to get out sometimes. A lot of traffic. Especially when you're heavy and slow. 236 gallons of fuel. So that was $611 for fuel and another $30 in DEF. So $640.37. So it would be nice if those diesel prices will go down a little bit, but yeah, I can understand why I was upset about fuel mileage when it costs that much to fuel up. You want to make it last as long as you can. Unfortunately, when you're 107,000 pounds, it just takes a bunch of fuel to get it moving. But we'll do the best we can. So 322 is pretty up through here. I'm not going to film the whole thing. I'll get a little bit of coming down through the hills here, and then I do want to show you guys climbing up the mountain up there on 322. I don't know the official name of it. Laurel Run. So coming the other way, you're required to do 20 miles an hour down over that hill. Coming this way, we'll probably do about 20 miles an hour going up the hill, because that'll be all we can do. That's a pretty view. Alright guys, we're getting up here to part where we have to climb up the mountain here on 322. So this will give you guys a driver's perspective of what it's like at 107,000 pounds going up over the mountain. Now we get into the steep part. Drop into the low side, and I missed it. That's probably the hardest shift. Alright guys, we made it over the mountain. Now we'll make our way up to 80, and then we'll head west. We actually booked ourselves a hotel in Sharon, PA, the Quality Inn. So that's our goal for tonight. We got about 209, well, it's probably about 200 miles to go. So should get there around 6 o'clock. All right, guys, we have successfully made it to the Quality Inn here in Sharon, PA. And I gotta be honest, I'm pretty happy. I have not been feeling good today. Must have a virus or something. So I'll be very glad to get checked in here and go in and relax a little bit. Maybe eat a little bit of dinner and get some good sleep. Hopefully I'm feeling better tomorrow. But that being said, I think we are roughly 20 miles from delivery in the morning. So they open at 7. Should be over there right as they open, and then we can get this delivered and be on to the next one. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. So just got our pre-trip done. Sunrise is at 6:23, so it is 6:15, so I don't know, I usually call that close enough. So gotta get my logs started, and then we should be good to roll out, head over to Girard and get this thing delivered. Alright guys, we just got here to Ohio Cat. So all equipment it doesn't look like they have the gate open yet, so I don't know where they want me. All equipment and transport traffic looks like gate 2. Gate 2 is not open yet. So I don't know where they want me. Alright guys, I'm gonna drop the headband for the last little bit of this. I tried to do the whole thing, but that thing gets annoying. So yeah, we got here to Cat. I talked to the gentleman beside me. He said to pull up, and they start at 7, so we still have about 13 minutes to go. So I'm gonna get out and get some chains off of this and get my banners and stuff off, so I'm ready to go when they get here. Alright, so we got my 4 binders off of the tracks and my chain off the boom. Got our flags and our banners down and the exhaust cover off. So we just have 4 chains and binders. So we are not unloading here. Apparently we have to wait until the gate over there opens up at 7, and then we will pull over there and they'll unload us over there. But we are as ready as we can be this morning, so. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this one. We got our Cat 323 delivered, so the trailer is empty. I hope you guys enjoyed the kind of driver's perspective on that. I don't know, I thought it would be kind of neat to do a video that way, but getting here this morning, it was just too much with that stupid headband. I wore it a lot yesterday, and I just got tired of it, so we did away with that. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know how good the sound quality is going to be on that. I don't have a mic yet. That is going to be my next purchase, is a media mod for my camera and a mic, so you guys can hear me a little better. But until then, we got to suffer through, you know, just a GoPro. So all right guys, well, thank you for watching this one, and stay tuned for more videos in the future. From Girard, Ohio at Ohio Cat, this is Cliff with Hamilton Transportation. I'll see you out there.